The Kinda Funny Patreon pledge drive month rolls on, and if you missed it, we put up 2 episodes from the 300 exclusives on patreon.com/kindafunny over the weekend on YouTube. Check them out, and if you like it, toss us $10 on patreon.com/kindafunny to get the other 298 plus pieces of content.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Monday, August 7th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing Adeoye Jr. Joining me is LaCroix Poppy himself, a.k.a. my fellow Forbes 30 under 30, Tim Geddes.
Bless, very good to be here with you on a Monday, ready to talk about some video games. Big news day, it seems. A lot of fun stuff to talk about, for sure. Evo's popping off. Have you been keeping up, I'm sure?
Oh, I've been keeping up. We'll talk all about that.
Yes. It's been a fun weekend, man.
It's been a very fun weekend.
Times all around.
I gotta always give a shout out. I always like when you rock this color combination, right? The matching bomber jacket and shirt.
Yeah,
with
big
nice
fan of the
chain.
monotone.
Yeah,
you know?
and you've been
all
rocking
one
it.
color.
I'm also a big fan of the monotone.
Yeah.
Tim, how's your weekend?
It was great. It was really great. Had a lot of fun catching up on Twisted Metal. We're actually going to be recording a screencast for that tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. Besides that, I played the hell out of Pokemon Go, as most of my weekends have been going the last couple times. And I'm getting up there, man. Like, I think I'm level 30. I'm about to be level 37, getting real close to that.
Well, at what point do you wear the bomber jacket?
So I'm going back and forth. In game, you don't earn it till 50, but that seems like I'm not going to get that for a very long time. So I was saying once I hit level 40, then I'm allowed to wear the jacket. So we'll see. It's still, I'm a ways away from that still, you know, but these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do.
Hell yeah. Yeah, my weekend was also fun. Did axe throwing on Saturday for the first time ever.
Cool.
Which was fun. It was for Stella's birthday, Stella from IGN. And let me tell you, I've never been so immediately afraid to be in a place.
Oh yeah.
Whereas I get there on time, but then I leave to go grab some boba across the street real quick, and then I came back. And by the time I came back, people were already throwing axes. And I was only gone for 5 minutes. How fast was the preamble? Like, what is the tutorial on this thing? What do I need to know? And they're just like, cock back and just throw. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You walked in there, just hit A hella fast, through the
through all the dialogue. And I'm like, all right, so they just gave us a bunch of axes and knives and targets, and people are just all throwing these axes at the same time with their different. And I was fucking like, yo, but what if somebody? My biggest fear was somebody would cock back and then the knife would slip out of their hand and then go right into my noggin.
Wow.
I kept thinking about that over and over and over again.
I didn't expect a blessed noggin drop at
I'm a big noggin. Yeah,
I'm a big noggin guy.
Yeah.
I talk about Moose's noggin all the time.
Oh, remember the channel, the noggin?
Of course.
Yeah,
dude. It's where I fell in love with Degrassi.
Yeah. Oh
Radio Free Roscoe. Let's go.
Damn. But yeah, I was scared at first, but then I threw my first axe and it hit the target. And I've never felt such a feeling of euphoria and power.
Yeah. Did you feel like Kratos?
I did feel like Kratos. I was, for a second, I was like, let me not be the nerd here, even though everybody there was nerds. But it was fucking fantastic. I had such a good time doing axe throwing. But it also comes back to what we talked about either last week or the week before, of me not making time for just chill time. Because yesterday, it was a big weekend, right? Did that. Been watching Evo on and off, right? But also, yesterday, I had plans to get Korean barbecue with friends, so I did that as well. And I've had just nonstop back-to-back days of doing things. And let me tell you, I want to give a shout out to one Janet Garcia, who texted me late last week and was like, "Hey, do you want to make plans to not make plans?"
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, Janet, you're the homie. This is why you're a real one. And so we set a day where yo, if anybody asks you if you want to do anything this day, you are my excuse. You are the person that I'm like, okay, I'm hanging out with this person.
Plans with Blessing.
I have plans with Janet Garcia.
That's great.
But we're just going to sit in our separate apartments, probably not interact. Maybe I'll send a text or two just to check up.
Check in.
Yeah, just to check. Hey, you good?
Are you doing nothing?
You doing nothing? Good. All right, cool. Me too. And I'm very much looking forward to that.
I'd love to be invited to these plans.
I mean,
if there's room.
Listen,
only if there's room.
What you doing tomorrow?
What
you doing tomorrow? Actually, I think it's later today that we have those plans. I got to check my calendar. Make sure I got nothing to do.
Awesome.
But Tim, enough about all that. Let's talk about today's stories because we got a huge news day. Let's talk about Red Dead Redemption coming to PS4 and Switch, everything announced at EVO, and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday at 10 a.m. live right here on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. If you're watching live, you can correct us when we get stuff wrong by going to kindafunny.com/you're wrong. If you don't want to watch live, you can watch later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, or you can listen later on podcast services around the globe by searching for Kinda Funny Games Daily. Remember, you can use Epic Creator Code Kind of Funny on all Epic Store and Epic in-game purchases like Rocket League and Fortnite to help support the channel. To be a part of the show, head to kindoffunny.com/KFGD to write in with your questions, squad ups, and more. And remember, patreon.com/kindoffunny will get you the show ad-free plus a bevy of bonus content. Housekeeping for you. Today is the day. Jeff Jarrett is in the building and about to stream some WrestleQuest with Greg and the developers. Will anyone get put through a table? You'll need to watch live or check the archive on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames to find out. Let me tell you, there's some housekeeping that I pull from the Slack where I'm like, okay, cool, it's a normal day. When I see somebody could get put through a table, I get very nervous.
By Jeff Jarrett. Sometimes our lives don't make sense, and today is one of those days, Bless.
It's definitely one of those days. Speaking of our lives not making sense, KFAF is back for a special holiday event, and we need you for the annual KFAF Photoshop Challenge. The Photoshop Challenge theme, movies and TV from the last 3 years. Post your submissions on Twitter or X or whatever is the special hashtag, or whatever it is with the special hashtag, KFAF Holiday. Save the date for Friday, August 11th at 11:30 a.m. right here.
Friday.
That's this Friday. On youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and Twitch for the event of a lifetime. And then over on Patreon, a new episode of the Kind of Funny Next Gen podcast is up right now, and it's a movie fantasy draft episode. Our movie draft is like our video game fantasy draft where Joey, Barrett, Roger, and I draft movies for the year based on how we think they'll perform on Rotten Tomatoes. We recap our last draft episode for those that missed it and draft some more movies for the remainder of the year. And let me tell you, it is a must-watch episode of the Kind of Funny Next Gen podcast. So go over there, Patreon, and tune into that.
What movies get drafted? You'll be shocked to find out.
You'll be shocked to find out. There are some twists in that episode that I think make it really, very, very good. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Jedi Master Deadpool, Delaney Twining, and Logan Delaney, the Delaney Bros. Today we're brought to you by Shady Rays, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 8 stories today.
A Baker's dozen.
And it's almost more like 15 stories because I took story number 2 is a bunch of stories just smashed into one because Evo happened and there's a lot to talk about with fighting games. But before we get there, we got a lot to talk about with Rockstar and Red Dead Redemption. With story number 1, Rockstar announces Red Dead Redemption for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. This is Wesley Yinpool at IGN. Red Dead Redemption and zombie add-on Undead Nightmare are coming to PS4 and Switch on August 17th, Rockstar has announced. Rockstar's 2010 Western adventure, which only launched on PS3 and Xbox 360, is being ported to PS4 and Switch by UK developer Double 11 Studios, with PS5 backwards compatibility supported. The port is not a remaster or a remake, but does include newly supported languages such as simplified and traditional Chinese, Korean, Polish, Brazilian, Portuguese, Russian, and Latin American Spanish. It costs $49.99 on the Nintendo Switch eShop and the PlayStation Store, with physical versions arriving October 13th. Rockstar gives no mention of PC or Xbox versions. Red Dead Redemption is already available on modern Xbox consoles via backwards compatibility with the original Xbox 360 version. However, the lack of a PC version, which Rockstar has never officially released, is sure to come as a disappointment. Tim, does this news come to you as a disappointment or a good thing?
I mean, good thing that more people get to play a great game. Weird thing, and this is just weird. It's just weird that last week we get the news that Jedi Survivor is rumored to be being ported to the PS4, and that's not right.
No, that's right.
That is right.
PS4 and Xbox One. Last gen.
Yes, that's... For some reason, in my mind, I was thinking Xbox 360. I'm like, there's no way that's
I do the
right.
Same, yeah, I do the same thing all the time.
PS4 and Xbox One. Great titling over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I get it. People like money. Seems a little bit weird that the games that were amazing video games but didn't run well on the new consoles, those are the ones that they're talking about porting. Hopefully they all work. Hopefully it's great. I love these games. I want Respawn to those games to be played by as many people as possible. Absolutely. Red Dead, this is just interesting. They didn't make too big a deal out of this. I don't think that it's like, oh man, I can't be disappointed when
you weren't promised anything.
Yeah, it's like, all right, cool, this is happening, whatever. They didn't like, hey, huge announcement coming or anything like that. So, it's happening. That's fine. It does seem a little bit weird. $50 price point seems steep for what this is.
Yeah.
I feel like $30, maybe even $20 at this point. $30 probably, just being realistic. That would feel better, you know? But what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm in the same place as you, right? Where I'm of two minds with it. One, it's really good to see a game that didn't have a way to be played on modern platforms find a way to be played, right? I think that is where the backwards compatibility thing comes in. I do think it's a little odd / disappointing that there's not a PS5 native version, but if it's just a port, it's like, do we even need a PS5 native version, right? Like, at that point, just make a remaster. I think that would be the cool thing to do, and I think that is what more people wanted / expected. I think the other mind I'm of with this is the fact that this has been rumored for the last few weeks to be happening, and people put their own narrative to it. Oh, Red Dead popped up on Rockstar's website. They must be making a remaster. They must be making a remake. There were reports about when the Grand Theft Auto trilogy came out and those remakes / remasters / whatever you want to call them weren't good. There are stories about how Rockstar was working on a GTA 4 remaster in the same vein, but that stuff has been put on ice based on the reception of the GTA trilogy. And so, would Red Dead Redemption have been a remaster at some point? If GTA Trilogy was good, who knows? And also, who's that on? Is that on Rockstar? Is that on the audience? I'll say that's more on Rockstar, right? Like, there's a lot that goes into, I think, that side of the conversation. What I think is a bit unfortunate are the rumors and the leaks and stuff, because I think without that, Rockstar seemingly, as far as I can tell, just wanted to get this out the door, right? This thing is coming out August 17th. Mm-hmm. That's in 10 days. This is a thing that they're not trying to make big fanfare of. They're just like, hey, there's not a way to play these games on modern platforms. Here's a way to play these games on modern platforms, right? And I think it's a simple port for them to make, and I think it's a win on the side of video game preservation.
Totally.
And that's a very, very good thing. Would I want a remaster? Would I love a remake? Absolutely. And I think that is something Rockstar should do at some point. But I think the existence of this port doesn't take away from the fact that, like, oh, that's a thing that I still want and I think we could still get, but I think this is fine.
Yeah, no, so all that's true. And I mean, look here, the headline even reads PS4 and Nintendo Switch. We're talking about two of the highest console install bases that exist. So yeah.
And PS4 technically includes PS5 because of backwards compatibility as well.
Exactly, and that all gets a little bit weird, but whatever. You're right, it works that way. So they're looking for the cash money here, which totally makes sense. In terms of the remake of a Red Dead Redemption, I feel like we haven't seen that yet. Like I feel like in a world where we see Capcom and Square remaking their little asses off, right? We haven't seen Rockstar do that. So I don't necessarily think that a Red Dead Redemption 1 remake in PS5 style, whatever, is likely even. Like until something like that is announced, I don't think that's
the Max. Well, I guess this is earlier, older games, right? But Max Payne 1 and 2 are being remade by Remedy, being published by Rockstar.
Yeah, but see, even that though, like I do think that those are older games that have like a different level of
like you can do like there's a lot you can do to those games. That's I think we understand what a remake of those games look like, or even a remaster of those games look like. Whereas Red Dead, I think Red Dead still feels like it's
modern enough,
enough, even though it came out in 2010, like over a decade ago. I like it's the thing where for me, the way I envision a Red Dead Redemption 1 remake would be to put out Red Dead Redemption 1, that same game, that same story, but have it look like Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah. I think that would be the dream. But also, is that a dream? Is that too much work for what that would be?
I kind of feel like the answer to that is yes, especially when GTA 6 is still looming, right?
And that's all.
Rockstar's huge, so they can be working on multiple things. They are working on multiple things, but I just feel like something like a Red Dead Redemption remake, that's a post-GTA type.
I agree. Yeah. Well, it makes you also wonder should Rockstar reach more into their bag of, I want to say classic games. It feels weird to call Red Dead Redemption a classic game, but I guess their bag of like their heritage, right? Hey, there are so many games and IP that Rockstar owns, and I like the idea of them sifting through and trying to figure out how to treat things right. Like GTA Trilogy was the right idea, just bad execution on how they went about it.
But if that's the answer, it's like, to me, like that, you don't get more classic Rockstar than the GTA 3 trilogy.
You're right, yeah.
So like, I don't know. Personally, I don't get excited, especially after what happened with that. There's nothing that I'm like, oh man, I hope they do this, because like, I don't have faith in it. And also, I'm like, just give me something new at this point. Like,
but they never will. I mean, they'll give us GTA, right?
Yeah. But that's kind of where I'm at with this. Is like, yo, GTA 6 is the exciting thing. We've been on GTA 5 being re-released, figured out in different ways for a decade at this point. So going back further, it's like, yeah, that trilogy was the thing that would get me super excited, and it came out, and it just wasn't it. Like, and if you fumble that, that should have been like the easiest layup. But even then, that was one of those examples of it was rumored, it was talked about, then it was announced and came out like so fast, and like maybe it shouldn't have.
Yeah. And again, I think for me, the thing with GTA Trilogy is just that the execution was bad. You should have treated that better, right? But like, I still do think there are ways in which you can go back and pull a thing like the Midnight Club franchise, or like Bully, or like, I mean, Max Payne, they seemingly are already doing. And I like the way that they're going about a Max Payne, which is, oh, Remedy wants to do it. Remedy, of course, has a history with this. Yeah, let's let Remedy take this thing and like do what they're going to do. And Remedy is a good and trusted studio. Could you go to I know Double 11, which I'm not super familiar with, but they're doing this port of Red Dead Redemption. Are there studios like that you can go to revive a Bully or revive a Warriors, or like these things that are cult classics? Or in the case of Rockstar, right? I think Rockstar still has some franchises that aren't Red Dead or GTA that could still hit, right? Like I think a Max Payne would be really fun. I think a Midnight Club could hit.
I don't know that a Midnight Club could hit. I feel like I'm with you to an extent here, but I do feel like Bully has that cult classic vibe to it. Midnight Club is a game that people played. I don't know that it's like a cult classic. You know what I mean? So? And I played the hell out of it. Like I rented the shit out of that game like so many different times. I don't know that if it came out, I don't think it would do anything for moving the needle for people, whether it's just a port, a remake, a remaster.
See, I would see it as a Burnout, Burnout Paradise remaster.
I do not think so.
You don't think a Midnight Club does as good as a Burnout?
Not even close. I don't even think Burnout there's like an energy behind it. Like that is a game that I think is cult classic. That is a game that like people revere and remember as being one of the best of all time. Midnight Club would be lucky to make it on a best of list for the year it came out.
Damn. All right.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I'm not played enough Midnight Club, right? Like,
there's my point.
I am a Burnout person, admittedly, and so like I'll take a remastered Burnout any day. But yeah, like I guess I've heard enough people talk about Midnight Club to where I'll think of it in that way of like, oh yeah, surely enough people would like show up for this thing. But yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah. I don't think so. And again, what is enough people? Like, is it enough to put in the research? Would it make money? Yes, it would make money. But I don't think that it would like...
But like, does it make enough money for Rockstar, a company that is sitting on like one of the highest grossing IP of all time for entertainment? We shall see. But hey, are you going to pick up this Red Dead Redemption port on PS4?
No.
You going to play through some Red Dead Redemption again?
No. I mean, it's funny because like I would be excited for a Red Dead if it was plussed up and stuff. But like I also just don't expect that. Like, so... yeah, I'm not going to be touching this.
Fair enough. Let me tell you what I'm going to be touching. A lot of fighting games in the near future, Tim, because story number 2, we got everything announced at EVO 2023. I'm going to be pulling from Adam Bankhurst at IGN. But before I even get into it, Tim, did you get to check out any of EVO? Is that even your bag?
Oh, yes, it definitely is my bag. I didn't get to check out nearly as much as I wish I could, but I mainly saw it this weekend on TikTok and Twitter and like more social clips as opposed to like actually
sitting down watching
live, because I wasn't home too much this weekend.
I feel that.
So give me the updates.
Yeah.
Let me know.
So getting into the story, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world has returned this year as EVO 2023 and featured not only some of the biggest moments in the fighting game world, but also some of its biggest game announcements. Starting off, we got Street Fighter 6 is getting a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover this month. The worlds of Street Fighter 6 and TMNT are set to collide on August 8th as TMNT gear, emotes, titles, stamps, and costumes that will turn you into your favorite turtle will be added to Street Fighter 6. While Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo aren't being added as full characters like they were in Injustice 2, there looks to be a ton of fan service in this package that includes an emote that sees your character chowing down on some delicious pizza. Tim, I know you're a big TMNT person. I know you also like Street Fighter as well. Is this something that you're excited for? Is this something that's going to bring you in?
No, definitely not. It's cool it's happening. This is just marketing at its best, though. There's a movie, there's a game. Let's do some collabs here. If they were characters themselves, I'd be more interested. Them being an Injustice was freaking awesome. I am more of a Street Fighter guy than I am an Injustice/Mortal Kombat guy. So I would be very excited if I get to play as my boy Leo in Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. Playing as a character that looks like Leo but isn't Leo, a little less excited about that. But I think that it's cool that they're doing this. This seems like more of an integration than I expected because I didn't expect any. This is random as hell, and I love these type of announcements, and nothing bad here, but I don't think there's anything too worth getting excited about.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, where this surprised me a little bit. I would expect this kind of collaboration with a NetherRealm type game, so I think it's neat that Street Fighter is exploring other IP to bring in an interesting way, and for that, I don't really expect Street Fighter to bring in playable characters from other IP.
Me neither.
Right? Street Fighter is not historically they've not really done that. And so this seems like it makes more sense, and I kind of like it. Like I kind of like the idea of no, the Street Fighter roster is the Street Fighter roster. Like we have a vision for what we want these things to be. Like this is a closed environment, but we can bring in costumes. We can let people cosplay as CMNT characters, and that can still be a very fun thing. And so I think that's cool.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Like, I feel like there's a sanctity to Street Fighter that, keep it its own thing, especially because, I mean, the kings of collab fighting games, Marvel versus Capcom, they're essentially half Street Fighter characters. So it's not like we don't get to see the Street Fighter characters
interact with other things.
Yeah, exactly. So... yeah.
Well, speaking of Street Fighter 6, we got the new DLC character AKI with a new trailer. Street Fighter 6's next DLC character after Rashid is the maniacal poison aficionado AKI, and she got a teaser trailer and a reconfirmed autumn 2023 release window. And she looks pretty cool.
I saw this trailer. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I like this. The maniacal poison aficionado. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, let's fucking go. Love maniacs with poison.
It's great.
We got a dope new Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. Have you seen this trailer?
No, I didn't.
Barrett, can we actually get this trailer with sound? It's a 4-minute trailer. We can talk over it. I'm sorry for audio listeners. Maybe hop over to the video version. This trailer is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So this was premiered, I think it was after the Tekken final.
Earthrealmers aren't ready to see the real me.
So how does it
So you
work?
have
you just shape shift in anything
Reptile out here walking out.
Shift only between this and my natural form.
Fuck yeah.
Reptile just goes from human to straight up fucking dinosaur creature.
Freak among my people. I was terrorized.
Dude, it looks so good.
This game looks incredible.
Misread my intentions, princess.
And I love the fact that Reptile is a dude this time. Like he has a human form that looks cool, and that he goes full reptile.
Yeah.
Like he's not a reptile in a suit.
Demon of the Netherrealm. I appear nearly human.
Here we got Ashra, my girl from Mortal Kombat Deception.
My soul. My sister demons were furious.
I love when they talk about their souls.
Again, I love this that they're embracing the 3D era of Mortal Kombat. Because like a character like Ashra, I wouldn't have thought I was going to ever see again.
Oh, that air juggle.
Astra and Sizar.
Is this going to be the dopest Mortal Kombat of all time?
Yes, 100%.
You will accept chaos. By choice or by force.
And here you got
Killing
my guy
one
Havoc.
to free another is a heinous proposition. One
Havoc
I
also
won't
from
let you
Deception, I
fulfill.
believe. Like, come on.
This is just nasty, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like
He just
Havoc
ripped his own arm off and beat someone up with it.
rips his own arm off and then summons this demon creature. Or actually, no, I think that was the cameo fighter. I believe that's Serena.
They're out for you too, Sizoff.
To catch me, they must see me.
Huh? Damn.
Like, come on.
Dude. What's the date on this one? Is it September 19th?
September 19th, yeah.
Oh my god, just a little over a month away.
And here we got we got Stryker. It looks like they're doing the X-ray moves. Fucking. We can probably cut it there. Because like we pretty much got the gist of what the new info here. The rest of the trailer is going to be just the fatalities happening. But goddamn, does Mortal Kombat 1 look good? It is. This roster is doing it for me, and that's maybe the one thing that hasn't jazzed me about the last few Mortal Kombat games is that like the new characters that they introduced for the roster don't excite me, right? In Mortal Kombat 10, we got the Combat Kids. We got I can barely remember their names. Jackie Briggs, Sonya, and Johnny Cage's daughter, and we got like a couple other characters that are related to other characters, right? And like they were fine to me, right? Like the one I really liked was Takeda Takahashi, who they had in Mortal Kombat 10, who was he was an apprentice of Scorpion, and he was sick as hell.
Yeah.
But like, it's been fine. And then Mortal Kombat 11 gave us more of that, and like new characters that haven't, I guess, blown me away. And the fact that this roster so far is reaching into eras of Mortal Kombat that had been
nostalgic for?
forgotten and that I have nostalgia for. And maybe this is just me thing, but I'm like, yo, this roster looks dope as hell. And I'm excited now for every new roster reveal because the way in which they're even showing the context of the characters in the story and the way that like they're factioning up and they're presenting this in a way where I am fucking in. I cannot wait for the story of this thing. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to try out all the different characters. This game looks incredible.
Dude, the looks are slightly unbelievable, man. I feel like we've gotten a couple fighting games in the last couple years that, upon first glance, like Project L is one of them, Guilty Gear Strive's another, Dragon Ball Fighters, and all of those have a more similar art style to them. But seeing them, I'm like, how is this real? Like, this is like, it seems like games shouldn't be able to look this good. Mm-hmm. I can't believe I'm looking at a more traditional 3D styled fighter here. I know it's 2D, but like just the graphics,
3D models,
style, 3D models. And I'm blown away. Like, I never thought that would be possible. Like, it looks so good from a character design perspective, from their movement. They look like every move they do looks fluid and like perfect.
Yeah.
And the backgrounds look dope and interesting while also not being distracting. Like,
it has a visual identity to where every trailer I've seen, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't look like X. This doesn't look like 11. I think they just leveled up in terms of, like, hey, Mortal Kombat 1 has this distinct, like, we know what we're doing. Maybe it's also like being in the new current gen or whatever, because this is the first one that's out for PS5 and Xbox Series X. They just found something here that really makes it stand out and look unique as a Mortal Kombat game. And like they've got the stuff, and I'm right there with you that, you know, when I think about fighting games that are visually distinct and that stand out, usually I am leaning towards a Arc System game, right? Like a Guilty Gear Strive. That game looks fucking incredible. Street Fighter 6 looks really good, right? But like, yeah, what they're doing here with the 3D models, with going for more of the realistic look as opposed to a very stylized look, they've got the stuff. Like, NetherRealm was on another level with this stuff, and so yeah, shout out. Next up, we got some Tekken 8 news. Tekken 8 adds Raven and Azucena, the Peruvian coffee queen, to its roster. While we still don't have a release date for Tekken 8, it was confirmed at EVO 2023 that Raven will be returning for this latest entry alongside a newcomer named Azucena, the Peruvian coffee queen. Raven first appeared in Tekken 5 and is a secret intelligence officer for the United Nations that uses ninjutsu and there's multiple Ravens though, because it's confused. There's Master Raven, who I believe is she/her, and so like that uses ninjutsu and can attack his foes with copies of himself. As for Azucena, she really loves coffee and messing with her opponents by playfully dodging and countering with ease and devastating power. This trailer was dope as hell. Because, yeah, she really is just weaving in and out of the opponent's moves. And I really dig how much her character loves coffee. Toward the end of the trailer, she gets into this face-off with Lily. And Lily's from England, I believe. And so, like, Lily's really into tea. And then, like, then Azucena comes through and is like, I'm going to show you the power of coffee. And it's fucking dumb as hell, but also really fun. And I really love it. The Raven trailer that I don't have listed for Barrett, Raven trailer also really, really dope. Like, he's that same character, but he just seems leveled up in this game as well. Like, all the stuff they showed with him seems really cool. And yeah, Tekken 8 continues to look really cool. And this is the moment I was talking about in the trailer where, like, Azucena's like, the tastiest drink in the world is coffee. And then Lily is like, I'll teach you about the majesty that is tea.
Dude, she looks dope as hell. I love the dodge moves and stuff. This is the first time I've seen a new character announcement in a fighting game that I'm like, you know what? I want to give this one a shot in a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nostalgic basic bitch. You know what I mean? Yep. Give me what I'm used to. I'm not good enough at these games to be like, oh, I want to try every move set. Like Smash Brothers, I want to try everything. I want to understand because I understand how that game ticks.
Yeah.
I don't understand how these games tick, even if I could slightly do. You know what I mean? I might be able to look at a watch and tell time, bless.
Yeah.
But I can't like...
You can't tell what makes it tick.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how this shit works.
I feel you. And I'm in a similar place as you where when I pick up a fighting game, I find my main pretty quickly and I don't veer off into other characters because I can identify the kind of fighters or the kind of characters that I work well with. And kudos to Tekken 8. This is the first new character that they've announced. I think me and you have talked about some of the Tekken roster leaks and stuff. And when I've looked at the Tekken 8 roster, I'm like, yeah, this looks like a Tekken roster. You know, nothing about this is necessarily stand out, but like cool that these people are returning. Azucena is the first new character that they've announced, and I'm with you that immediately I'm like, oh, I want to try this character out. She looks really cool. She has a different movement style that seems like it could be really fun to mess around with, and I think that's really good. I think that's a really good start, that the first character they introduce, already people are jazzed to try her out. Yeah. And so makes me very excited to see what other new characters they introduce. Moving on, we got some Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. That was announced. SNK shared the big news. The Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves is on its way and will be the first new Fatal Fury game since 1999. I was
about to say, this is pretty cool.
We didn't learn too much about the game or get a release date, but the accompanying teaser trailer did feature Terry Bogard and Rock Howard facing off against each other. There also appears to be teases to other characters, as many voices can be heard throughout the trailer that the community are already matching to fighters. Tim, were you ever a Fatal Fury person? Did you ever try out Fatal Fury?
No, not even a little bit.
I don't think, I've not tried out Fatal Fury either, but I'm happy that SNK is reaching into that bag and bringing something old and bringing it back, because I know plenty of people that, I know how classic that is, right? The fact that Terry Bogard is a character in Smash, right? The fact that I play King of Fighters 15, I'm identifying the Fatal Fury influence there. Hell yeah.
Also, there's a character named Rock Howard.
It's a dope ass name.
Sounds like Rock Hard.
It sounds a little bit like Rock Hard. I was gonna say that sounds like if Mike Howard had like a secret middle name or like a nickname that they called him in high school. I could see them calling him Rock Howard. Yeah. Hey, Rock, get over here. Oh, I got you, jabroni. Yeah,
yeah, totally.
Moving on, Guilty Gear Strive Season 3 details revealed as it reaches 2.5 million players globally. Guilty Gear Strive's third season got detailed at EVO 2023, and it was confirmed that the Jellyfish Pirates captain, Johnny, will be the next DLC fighter to join the game on August 24th. Season 3 will also bring with it 2 new systems, 3 other characters, 2 new battle stages, and more. Hell yeah. Love to see it. Shout out to my jellyfish pirate captain, Johnny.
And speaking of jellyfish,
our final news bit right here for EVO, Plankton has been revealed as the next Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2 character. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2 is officially on its way, and EVO 2023 helped reveal that SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton will be part of the roster when it arrives. Plankton joins new characters like Squidward Tentacles and Jimmy Neutron. I love that they're using their full names.
Yep.
And
show some respect, you know?
Yeah, Squidward Tentacles. And he will be fighting in a mech suit with ketchup-based attacks, his computer wife Karen, lasers, and more. You gotta love it.
You really do, man. Like, there's no date on this one yet, right? They just said coming later this year.
Yeah, coming later this year.
I hope it hits at the right time, man. Just give me a free weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the right amount of time in between all the things coming out, and we're going to have a blast.
I don't know if there is a right time, dude. Like,
it's always the right time for Nickelodeon Smash
This
clone.
is going to come out the same day as Alan Wake 2. I'm going to guarantee it.
Really, I love that because it's like a robot version of him. He feels and looks like just like their version of Rob. Just like really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I feel like I love that they took the character of Plankton and made him a tank. That's a genius idea.
That is pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna take the tiniest character in Nickelodeon and make him a big force to be dealt with. So shout out to that, and also shout out to EVO. So I got to watch certain bits of EVO, not as much as I would have liked. King of Fighters 15 was Saturday, I believe, and I got to watch that, and that was a really fun time. And then yesterday, Sunday, the big day, they had Tekken 7, which I watched, and Tekken's always my favorite thing to watch at EVO. It is a very fun game to watch, just for the fact that it's very easy to read, right? Tekken it's a 3D fighter. It is very like hand-on-hand combat based. It's easy to follow, and really had a good time with that, even though Arslan Ash, who's easily the best Tekken player in the world right now and has been for a while, he fucking cleaned up. Like, if anything, he made it almost unfun to watch. Damn. Like, it was fun to watch because Tekken is fun to watch, but he was destroying folks so much.
Brock Lesnar in WWE.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we got to the finals, and I'm like, we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
this isn't a mystery who's about to win this thing because he's insane. But did that, and that was really fun. And then I then had to go and get Korean barbecue. But then I got back home. Had to. No, I got to. And then I got back home, and then I missed like the first hour of Street Fighter 6. But then I started watching it, and it was a good time. But like I've been telling you this last week, Tim, I've been getting tired early.
Yeah,
and I was so upset because I fell asleep watching Street Fighter 6 Evo, and I woke up at the finals, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" I missed this whole thing. I checked Twitter, and everybody's going crazy about how good it is. I'm like, "Damn it, dude! I missed all the good stuff." But I got to watch the finals, and the finals were fucking fantastic.
Hell yeah!
That is a fun game to watch, Tim.
Oh,
I want to go back and rewatch the all the stuff I missed, because even watching the finals, which was like a dude from the Dominican Republic. He was going back and forth between playing Luke, who's my main, so I was rooting for him because he was Luke, and he was also going back and forth between Luke and Blanca, and he was fighting a guy that was playing as Ken. Like seeing the strats, seeing like the shift in strategy, seeing the way that like anybody could have won in that moment, it was really cool. Like there was a really good back and forth, and this was for me the moment where I mean I've had this already, but the fact that Drive Rush and Impact Drive and these new mechanics that they've added to Street Fighter 6, they are fucking working, dude. They are making things interesting to watch, and people are utilizing them in very interesting ways that is making this a very engaging fighting game to watch.
This might be too early to say, even in Evo and all of that, but this is a big deal, right? A new Street Fighter coming out. Street Fighter 6, I feel like there was a lot on this one after 5, and after 5 found its place over time with its DLC and different iterations. But for 6 to come out and kind of out the gate, be the one everyone's like, they did it.
Yeah.
This being their real coming out party in terms of esports tournaments on the biggest degree, at least. Do you think that they accomplished what they had to in terms of like the dominance of Street Fighter being the fighting game?
No, 1,000%. I mean, from what I could tell, and it seems pretty unanimous across the board, Street Fighter 6 was the best part of Evo, and the fact that they were able to close it out on that, have it be that, have the game be dope as hell, have everybody hype, have like the fact that that Capcom is introducing this prize pool that is, I believe, upwards of millions of dollars. They're doing everything they need to make it a force, and yeah, like all the hype was there, right? For fighting games in general, because all the other stuff was fun to watch too. But when Street Fighter 6 got there, it felt like all right, like this is the main event. This is what it's all about. This is the thing that really like we're really here for. And like it was a very fun time watching the finals, at least. And yeah, Twitter was popping off. So I think they're doing everything right. I think they got everything there. And next Evo is about to be fucking ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Because the one thing I didn't mention with Tekken is the fact that, they kept saying this. My guy Tasty Steve on the 1s and 2s, that like this is potentially the last Tekken 7 Evo, right? Because Tekken 8 is on the horizon, and that made this Tekken tournament special.
Yeah.
And so there was that hype there, but also when you think about, Tekken 8 is going to be there next year, Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be there next year. Who knows when Project L comes out, but maybe that's there next year. Next year's Evo, like I think Street Fighter 6 is giving the alley-oop for next year's Evo to be like a fucking slam dunk. And not to mention that like the mayor of Las Vegas came through and gave the Evo folks like a key to the city and declared August 6th National Evo Day.
Fuck yeah.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Yes.
The fighting game
It's going to be weird
here.
when it's not on August 6th, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, next year it's not on August 6th.
Cool.
Next year's at the end of July, and I really want to go. And so, hey, man, it's happening. Evil's here.
Awesome.
Fighting games are here.
They're here, man.
It's a fun time. But you know what else is a fun time too? Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Over on Patreon, you can, of course, find exclusive content like the Kinda Funny Next Gen podcast, like Kinda Feudy, like Greg Ways, and more. But you can also get shows like this absolutely ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures, just like Mike likes them. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. And every purchase supports the Shady Rays Impact Program, which works directly with nonprofits and their communities to empower and make adventure accessible for all walks of life, from childhood cancer patients to young adults with serious health conditions. Exclusively for y'all listening right now, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Again, that's shadyrays.com. Use code KINDAFUNNY. This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. Y'all know how much I love to stay hydrated, and Liquid IV makes it easier and better than ever to ensure that I'm always living my best, most hydrated life. And you can too. Liquid IV, the #1 powered hydration brand in America, is now available in sugar-free with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness. Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, and you can keep your daily routine exciting with 3 new flavors: white peach, green grape, and lemon lime. Let me tell you, the white peach is good. It's real good. We here at Kinda Funny swear by this stuff. 1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Now sugar-free. Grab your Liquid IV hydration multiplayer sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code KINDAFUNNY at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you use promo code KINDAFUNNY at liquidiv.com.
And we're back with story number 3. Square Enix share price drops amid claims that Final Fantasy XVI didn't meet high-end expectations. This is Chris Scullion at Video Games Chronicle. Square Enix's share price in Japan has dropped by nearly 15% following the company's latest earnings release. The publisher reported its Q2 2023 earnings on Friday, during which it stated that revenue had increased around 14% year on year, but profits had dropped around 65%. When the Tokyo Stock Exchange closed on Friday, Square Enix's share price sat at 6,366 yen. When it opened earlier today, however, the price had dropped to 5,566 yen and stayed around this figure throughout the day, dropping to 5,457 at one point. This is the lowest the company's share price has been since May 2022, and according to Bloomberg, its worst intraday drop in 3 years. Bloomberg also claims that one of the reasons for Square Enix's underwhelming financials is the launch of Final Fantasy XVI. Their publication cites 3 separate sources who attended Square Enix's post-earnings call, all of whom claimed President Takashi Kiryu said the game's initial sales, in Bloomberg's words, quote, did not meet the high end of the company's expectations, end quote. Kiryu also reportedly said that the slow adoption of the PS5 was also a limiting factor in Final Fantasy XVI's sales, and that the end of hardware shortages should open up opportunities to boost software sales.
Square needs to figure some shit out, man.
Yeah.
So what they're saying here didn't meet high-end expectations. High-end. Things shouldn't have to meet high-end in order to be considered a success. You get what I'm saying? It should be able to hit expectations. If it's high, then it's great. Then it's just better than things are doing here. At the same time, though, I don't think this is as doom and gloom as it kind of is set out to look here, because we are just talking about like any of these percentage drops and all that stuff. It is just of the last 2 years or last year, even, with some of the stuff being 2022. So there's a lot of contextual evidence there where you start to see what games have Square been releasing, all the different business moves in the back end that have been going on with the release of things like Crystal and Eidos and things like that. So I don't think that this is like bad news overall. I think that the biggest thing here is like Square clearly needs to figure out its forecasting a bit, because I feel like there's going to be some incredibly talented teams that are affected negatively for the entirely wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. And that's the thing that like I think we get scared of with a story like this. But also, I'm with you that like what is going on in terms of their forecasting, because we talked about the sales numbers for Final Fantasy 16 and they hit 3 million in the first week, I want to say, somewhere around that. And like with 38 million PS5s out there, I feel like 3 million in the first week is really good.
Absolutely. And
it's a really good number.
Like if you compare it to Final Fantasy 15, it didn't sell as much in the first week or first whatever.
Yeah.
That's because that was on 2 different consoles. But y'all knew that. And when you look at the percentage and the ratio, it's performed extremely well. Now, that's not taking into context the reality that video games sales are higher than they've ever been.
Of course.
The expectations are higher, especially for a game that it looks as expensive as Final Fantasy 16.
I think there's so much investment into making Final Fantasy 16 something that would be even wider selling than a previous Final Fantasy. They've, rolled back a bit on like the JRPG-isms of Final Fantasy in a way to make it palpable for a wider audience. It is a pure action game. It is bigger than life set pieces, and like, yeah, that game looks expensive as hell, and it is a Game of Thrones-esque tone to it, right? But also,
and it's rated M,
and it's rated M, which kind of works against his favor. But also, like, this is a Final Fantasy that feels like it's trying to tailor toward a wider audience, a Western audience, right? Trying to get into more people's hands. And I think maybe a lot of those things failed to do what they wanted to do on the, getting into people's hands situation. Like, I feel like if they released a Final Fantasy that was a bit more traditional Final Fantasy, but still hit as hard as this in terms of like how good it is, probably do the same. And they probably wanted this to do more than that.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where it all falls. I feel like at the end of the day, it's sold well. It just didn't it's not hitting the high end here. And I think that even what they're talking about, Q2 2023 earnings are being discussed here. The revenue had increased around 14% year on year, but profits dropped 65%. So revenue going up, but profits going down means more money's being spent.
Yes.
Right. And so that makes a lot of sense when you look at the last year, when the games that we know are in production, which also include games that aren't out yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And also includes a Forspoken, right? Like Forspoken in that conversation.
Absolutely Forspoken in a fucking conversation.
And that's an expensive video game that did not perform.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I would almost attribute this more to a Forspoken, I guess in collaboration with the Final Fantasy 16, right? But like, there are a couple of reasons why I could see that number making sense.
I mean, I'm definitely like talking out of my ass right now, but I feel like I'm right about this. But correct me if I'm wrong. It has been decades since Square has had this many AAA high-profile games this close together with Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Okay.
All in production to some extent at the exact same time. Right?
Okay.
That's expensive, man.
I mean, super expensive.
That's like, that is expensive to a point that like most studios rarely ever touch unless there's something like a Ubisoft that are working on 15 fucking games at a time.
Yeah. Square Enix is interesting, man. Like, I mean, we've not even talked about we've talked about the big guys, right? But they also just publish a lot of games in general. Stuff. I mean, Octopath Traveler 2, that's Square Enix. And I don't know how that's doing sales-wise, right? I'll assume that like that's doing Octopath Traveler numbers. And that's a good video game. And so hopefully that's a good like check mark on their thing, right? But then you look at last year, and in my first Blessing Show of the year, the non-Game of the Year awards, one of the categories I had was like, I think it was like worst Square Enix title, like name for a game. And I went through a long list of Square Enix games that came out last year that are just fucking, it felt like I put them all in a name generator and spat it out, right? Like Everyday Sun Life or whatever, Day Life or whatever the game is fucking called. There's so many Square Enix games that just come out, and I have the question of who is this for? Like, is this serving a larger audience? Are these needed? Can you, lean up a bit here? We have the one Square Enix game a year that does fucking terrible usually. Like in the case of was Balance Wonderworld Square Enix?
Yes.
Yeah, in the case of Balance Wonderworld or A Quiet Man or was the Platinum game that I was really looking forward to when it was first announced, but then got revealed and looked fucking terrible. Babylon's Fall. Was that Square Enix?
I don't know.
Chat, let me know if that was Square Enix. But like, I feel like they have one of those a year where it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And sometimes those could be Forspoken, which are huge games.
Yeah.
That cost a lot of money and could lose a lot of money. And on top of that, like with Final Fantasy 16 doing extremely well, but not well enough to hit the high standards, and then all the money going into Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth that, hey, guess what? Next year, I imagine these numbers are going to look a little different, Bless.
Yeah. Oh my God. And people in chat are now talking about even more games, right? Valkyrie Elysium was one that I remember coming out last year, and like I don't know if that game was good or not, but like that felt like another one that just came out, and I'm sure that served a particular audience. But when you have like so many games that are like that, it's like it feels like you're almost just putting games out to put games out. And yeah, I've confirmed now. Babylon's Fall was Square Enix. It came out last year. And God, don't remind me of Babylon's Fall. Don't remind me. Next news story. Story number 4. A bunch of Devolver games have been delayed. This is Jason Finelli at GameSpot. In the latest example of the company's tongue-in-cheek approach to announcements, Devolver Digital has released the Devolver Delayed Showcase, which confirmed multiple games being pushed into 2024. The 3-minute video is a clear parody of a Nintendo Direct with similar graphics and an upbeat tone reminiscent of Nintendo's regular update live streams. Only with the news that 5 Devolver published games will be pushed to 2024. Tim, I watched this morning.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, that like I was both delighted for this stream, like for this video, but then also it was gut punch after gut punch.
Yep.
Like it felt like I was like doing a lottery that was like the opposite of lottery, right? It's like, okay, what ways are you gonna break my heart, right? Hopefully my game doesn't get announced here, and
they all did.
They all did. So the games that are getting pushed to 2024 are as follows: The Plucky Squire, Stick It to the Stick Man, Skate Story, God damn it, Angerfoot, and Pepper Grinder.
So I've never heard of Stick It to the Stick Man.
Yeah,
and it looks really damn cool.
It does look really cool.
Looking at it right now for audio listeners, it looks kind of like sometimes a 2D like fighting game style thing, sometimes more of like a arena brawler. But it looks very interesting, very Devolver.
Very Devolver. And like, yeah, we just got footage of Skate Story, which still looks incredible. But the video does end on good news, however, as it also confirms multiple projects that will remain on the 2023 schedule. The list of games staying in this year look like this. We got Gunbrella, let's go. Wizard with a Gun, The Talos Principle 2, which I'm gonna pause there. When I saw The Talos Principle 2 in this video, I paused and went, this looks like a me game.
Yeah.
This looks like a game that I might actually enjoy. And I've not had the Talos Principle on my radar, but now I'm kind of looking forward to it. And so this video did a pretty good job of that.
I mean, I could say the same thing about Pepper Grinder. Haven't heard about that one. And there's some gameplay there. I'm like, ooh, this looks like some satisfying ass Tim Geddes shit.
Yeah.
All right, a little 2D platformer action with some like unique gameplay mechanic stuff going on of traversal.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We also got the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, Karma Zoo, and then McPixel 3 DLC. Those are all still coming out in the year of our Lord 2023. We did it, Tim.
You know, at the end of the day, good on them. I love this presentation. I think they did a great job of it to turn some bad news into good news. And we've said it a million times. This year is packed, absolutely packed. So, hey, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, no harm, no foul.
Let's
If
get
anything,
these things out, make some room for room in 2024.
yeah, like and that's my thing is I'm not upset by any of these, right? Like I want to play the Plucky Squire, but also like Armored Core 6 is around the corner, Starfield's around the corner, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Mario RPG, Super Mario Wonder. I can keep going, Tim.
You can.
There's so many
You
fucking
really
games to
can.
play this fall, and so yeah, give me space. Sea of Stars.
Beautiful.
Story number 5. Baldur's Gate 3 is now one of the biggest Steam games ever. This is Wesley Yinpool at IGN. That's how big of a news day it is. That this is, I feel like this would usually be maybe a story number 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right? Baldur's Gate 3's huge launch swelled over the weekend with the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game breaking the 800,000 concurrent players barrier on August 6th. Just last week, we were talking about how this game was almost close to 500,000 concurrents and how impressive that is. They're at 800,000.
Dude, and I mean, my Twitter tells that story.
Yep.
Like the amount of clips I've seen, the amount of people talking about this, it's wild.
The peak concurrent count on Steam was 814,666, nice, which puts Baldur's Gate 3 in 9th place in Steam's all-time concurrent players list. It's chasing down 8th placed Hogwarts Legacy, 7th placed Amazon's New World, and 6th placed From Software's Elden Ring. Clearly, Baldur's Gate 3 has exceeded all expectations, particularly those of developer Larian. Last week, Larian boss Sven Vink said he told the developer's IT team to expect 100,000 concurrent players max. Baldur's Gate 3 is still the top-selling game on Steam by revenue. The huge PC launch is said to have boosted an interest in the PS5 version, which is set to launch September 6th. And I saw that floating around on Twitter, too, that like pre-orders for the PS5 version have skyrocketed.
And I mean, dude, that's awesome, right? They did it. Like I want to give them so much credit. One, for making an incredible video game that people are enjoying. But two, for their bold choice to release the game the way that they did. We don't see this often. Like, what a rare instance of a game getting pushed up, and they got it into reviewers' hands days before it came out, which most of the time is a telltale sign. Hey, there's a problem here. Look out for it. Doesn't necessarily mean the game's bad.
Yeah.
But hey, this is going to be a little bit touch and go. Stay tuned to this. Let's see what's actually going on here. And no, it just worked out for them. They had a great game that came out that people are really vibing with. And because of their choices and because of their commitment to their vision for this game, they're now getting a marketing boost. They're now getting a sales boost that they could have never, ever, ever gotten on the PS5 because of this release strategy.
Yeah.
Good on them.
And I think it's just beautiful to see a studio live up to their pedigree as well, where, you know, they've done Divinity Original Sin 2. That got so much love and so much praise, and people put that up as this is one of the incredible RPGs you got to play, right? But having Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, we were having conversations about a month ago about what's going to be RPG of the year, right? Like, does Baldur's Gate 3 even have a chance in that conversation when you got the big dogs like Starfield and Final Fantasy and Zelda and all these other things? And for the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is out, and now I'm like, dude, does Starfield stand a chance for our RPG of the year conversation, right? Like, Baldur's Gate 3 is making those waves. Baldur's Gate 3 is finding what makes that type of game special, right? It is Larian doing what Larian does, right? Finding what they do special combined with what a Baldur's Gate / a D&D system does special and really delivering on that vision. And they deserve all the kudos for that. Like, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Made my character last night, bless.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's
Didn't think
your
I was going to get into it, but yeah, fucking bought and downloaded it last night.
Dude, from the character creator I was in.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I got into like setting with my third and fourth like character class
Subclass
trait,
and shit, yeah.
I'm a high elf, half elf, sorcerer, and I got dragon scales on me because I'm
shit.
draconic. I don't even like. If you ask me, the more questions you ask me,
I just put. I was like a rogue elf or whatever. I went like a little bit more basic, but yeah, I had such a fun time of just like making my character, putting like runic tattoos on me and shit.
Tim, you should pick up Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
just make a character.
Honestly, I've just been having a great time watching all the boys play.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all need to check this out. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. The streams they've been doing, another level, an absolute other level, man. So congrats to them.
There's a question that I had, and like somebody in chat asked, like, do you think that Baldur's Gate 3 has the juice to like go for game of the year, right, or take it away from Zelda? I think that might be a post-show conversation because we're already running late into this, but I think it'd be an interesting conversation to have. So let's put a pin in that and maybe come back to it later. For now, let's talk about story number 6. Fallout, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy are coming to Magic: The Gathering. This is Jordan Midler at IGN. Wizards of the Coast has announced that expansions based on Fallout, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy are coming to Magic: The Gathering. The sets, which will release starting in 2024, are part of Magic: The Gathering's Magic: The Gather's Universes. I think that's a typo. Magic: The Gathering's Universes Beyond expansion, which sees the 30-year-old trading card game partner with brands notably this year, The Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who. The Fallout expansion will be the first to release, coming in Q1 2023, with Assassin's Creed coming in Q3 2023. Mike, how are you excited about this? You jazzed? Yeah. He says, "Hell yeah!" This almost got me to Magic.
Yeah.
I paused and was like, "Am I about to buy a pack of Magic cards?"
Oh my God, man! Blessing. It is so cool. I mean, they continue to wow me. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest Magic guy. I just got on the train recently. But, like, it's so cool to see the collaborations of stretching outside the universe and getting wild and wacky with it, right? Assassin's Creed, Fallout. Are you kidding me? The list goes on. If you're really into Magic and you read that blog post, Tim, there's some dope collaborations that all walks of life can enjoy, and I can't wait to talk more about it.
When I tell you that I've been so on the tabletop / card game wave right now, where... Again, yesterday I went to get Korean barbecue. One of the people that was there, Roger Horney, and Leanza was there as well. And on our way out, we passed by a card game shop, and I was like, "Hold on, I just look around for a little bit." And I was picking card games up, and was like, "Oh man, I want to purchase this so bad," but I had to hold myself back.
Yeah,
I had to exercise restraint. And you're telling me that there is a card game that has Fallout content in it, Final Fantasy content in it,
dude. Final Fantasy, like, I'm doing it. I'm getting in for that.
Are you doing it?
I mean, I'm not going to play. I'm going to collect the shit out of these things, though. Final Fantasy, I've always been interested in Magic because their art's dope as hell. Their cards look dope as hell. I'm just intimidated by it. It's just way too much for me. But collecting some Final Fantasy shit, oh, yeah, lock it in. God. My wallet,
I might do it.
You know what? Just get rid of it now. This thing, don't need it.
Throw it away. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. That's a really thin wallet.
Yeah.
Damn. Story number 7, Sega unveils super cute trailer for Sonic and Friends animated shorts on TikTok. This is Christina Alexander at IGN. Sega dropped the trailer for the Sonic and Friends animated short series on TikTok. The company posted the trailer on the TikTok page for its Japanese branch on Monday, August 7th. Sonic and Friends gives us a look at Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles in CGI chibi form, having all sorts of fun while foiling Dr. Eggman's plans, whatever they may be. The title, Sonic and Friends, implies every character in the Sonic the Hedgehog game series may appear alongside Sonic's small circle of friends, including Shadow,
what a
Rouge.
weird fucking way to say that.
Yeah, that's a wild way to say that. Shadow, Rouge, Cream, and maybe the Babylon Rogues.
The fuck?
Do you know about the Babylon Rogues?
I do not, bless.
Yeah, we need to look at the Babylon Rogues. However, it's unknown if any of these characters will be a part of the animated shorts. So we were talking about this a few weeks ago about the trademark of Sonic and Friends and what it could be. We talked very briefly about it. I pitched the idea of a Sonic Animal Crossing game, which I think would still be neat. But cool. It's a little TikTok thing.
Okay, they're Sonic Riders. They're the Sonic Riders team.
Oh, okay.
Jet the Hawk, Wave the Swallow.
No, we're not doing that.
And Storm the Albatross. Wave the Swallow.
The Swallow. Story number 8.
Fucking children, man.
Final news. Are you gonna check out these animated shorts?
No, I really like the other ones, like the Sonic Adventures, whatever the animated adventures or whatever they were. Incredible art style.
Is Sonic Prime Season 2 out?
It is, blessed.
Fuck.
Oh, it's out.
I watched.
There's a scene in it.
Mm-hmm. Is it a Sonic versus Shadow? Because I've been seeing clips of that.
Yeah.
I've not seen the full thing, but it looks sick as hell.
Sick as hell. But there's one line that I'm like, huh, that's.
I banged your mom, Sonic.
I mean, it's not quite that, but like it's in the realm of that.
Oh,
where I'm like, huh, didn't know that I needed to learn that about Shadow, but here we are.
All right, let's go. I'm married with kids, Sonic.
I spit in your mouth every night, Sonic.
Jesus Christ, Shadow. Our final news story number 8. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming November 10th. This comes from a tweet from Sledgehammer and the Call of Duty accounts, where they just tweeted out Modern Warfare 3 with a video that says Modern Warfare 3. And then November 10th. It's coming. Finally.
We did it, everybody.
Modern Warfare 3 is happening. Who could have guessed? Mike, could you have guessed? He said woo. That was a real answer, but I'm going to say that's a yeah. That's a yeah. He could have guessed. Tim?
Yeah.
Can't wait to see how Modern Warfare 3 pans out on November 10th. But the release of Modern Warfare 3 is just so far away. If I wanted to know what's coming out to mom and grab shops today, where would I look?
November 10th, Charles Hamilton's birthday. The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. See, that's how big of a news day it was. Is that a new Call of Duty was announced. What's our final news
story number 8.
Story number 8. We got to talk about Sonic and Friends first.
We did.
Out today, we got Hammer of Virtue for PC. New dates for you. The next Evo is set for July 26th through the 28th, 2024. And then Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising launches November 30th worldwide on PlayStation and PC. Deal of the day for you. Steam Visual Novel Fest is going down starting today. Steam Visual Novel Fest celebrates the spirit of telling a story through art and interactive fiction with discounts and demos on current and upcoming visual novel games of all kinds. So get hyped for that. Tim, it's time for kindoffunny.com/you're-wrong, where you write in, let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. I am looking at You're Wrong, and it is empty, which almost seems like a mistake, but also it's me and you.
It's down here. It's down here.
Oh, it's down.
Just scroll a little, yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
But you're right, though. There's no way we got anything actually wrong.
Jimmy Hawkins says, worth noting Rockstar hasn't done remakes because, according to an article from The Gamer, the devs feel remakes are beneath them. Instead, they outsource remasters/ports, much to the chagrin of fans so far.
Hilarious.
Beneath them is really funny.
Yeah. Putting in effort beneath them.
There's no way that's a direct quote. I refuse to believe that somebody at Rockstar was like, this is beneath us.
I can see it, man. I can see it.
But also, the article does put beneath them in quotes. Hold on. Beneath us.
I'm looking through the rest of this. We're looking pretty good. Magic Universes Beyond is not a mistake. It is their brand collab special sets. So it just sounded weird to say.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not finding the direct quote, and so I'm just going to assume it's true. I'm going to assume that Dan Houser?
Yeah, one of the Houser.
Yeah, one of the Houser brothers. So then somebody was like, hey, y'all want to remake Bully? And he's like, it's fucking beneath us. It's beneath me.
Last Class Gaming and Twitch also says QA is beneath them too, I guess.
God damn. Jesus. Got their asses. That's enough. For kindoffunny.com/you're-wrong. This week's hosts for Kind of Funny Games Daily go like this. Tomorrow, you're getting Greg and me. Wednesday, you're getting me and Tim. Thursday, you're getting me and Tim. Wow. And then on Friday, you're getting Tim and me.
Holy shit.
Oh, man, what a week. If you're watching this live right now after the KFGD post show, the crew is playing some WrestleQuest for a stacked stream. Of course, Jeff Jarrett, could choke slam Greg through a fucking table. You have no idea what could happen.
No idea. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, but you'll have to tune in to find out what does happen right here on YouTube and Twitch and later on YouTube if you want to watch the VOD. Tim, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. We're each and every weekday live right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. Till next time, Game Daily.
And welcome to the stage, the one and only Snowbike Mike.
Hello, everyone. I have two microphones at once because, of course, we're resetting the stage.
Yes.
Oh, we're
so
resetting.
one of you can stay with me, one of you may leave. Okay, that's how this is going to go.
Cool.
Just because I'm only going to hold two mics.
You want me to stay? You want to go?
I can stay.
All right, cool.
All right, Blessing, come on up. Hello,
We're
everyone.
standing up for this.
Yeah, yeah, they're moving the set.
Oh,
They're
okay.
moving the
You know
set.
what?
We're resetting.
Tim, do you want to stay? I got to do metadata.
Let him put his thing down. Hello, chat. It's Mike coming to you live here in the beautiful spare bedroom studio. We're ready to rock and roll. We have a really fun stream today. Double J, Jeff Jarrett is in the building. And, of course, the team from Mega Cat Studios are here as well, the developers of WrestleQuest, for a fun sponsored stream where we are going to play the game. We are going to hang out with a absolute legend in the ring. And then we're going to talk with the developers and have a great time.
Mike,
But
really
first-
quick, can you grab Tim's wallet off the floor?
Grab that wallet.
I got it.
Swipe that
I
card.
love
Tim.
how Bless called my wallet thin, which sounds like the most brutal.
It
fucking
was
rip of all
insulting.
time.
Like I
Yeah.
felt insulted for you, Tim.
He right though. I'm a big fan of a thin. I'm a big fan of the thin wallet. All right.
Do you carry cash with you?
No cash.
You should always have at least 20, maybe 40 in your pocket.
No. Not on my person.
Why is that, Mike?
Because you never know the situation you may be in, Barrett. You might be pulling up to a baseball game, need parking. Guess what? Need a 20 spot. You might go to Pacifica, California for the World Dog Surfing Championship and say, God damn, there are 5,000 people at the beach right now. I can't find a parking spot, but the local middle school is saying, hey, $15 a spot, cash only. And you might say to yourself, God damn it, if I didn't listen to Mike, we'd be walking miles to get to this awesome
All right,
event.
you proved me wrong, Mike. You got me.
Mike,
you fucking got me.
I love that you actually went to that because it's been promoted to me on Instagram like every single day.
Really?
And we
Yeah.
were like, should we do it? I don't know. And we ended up not going. We went to Pacifica the next day to grab some brunch, and the restaurant we went to, the guys were like, you guys came on the right day. If you were here yesterday,
Mayhem.
it was mayhem.
Mayhem.
There were dogs everywhere. They were surfing. They were not surfing. They were like, you should not have come yesterday. It was bad.
I'll
They were like,
tell
we
you
were
what.
not prepared for this.
It was a awesome experience, a great event, so worth it, so much fun, and we'll tell stories about that today on the Kind of Funny podcast.
Oh,
'cause
yes.
I'm joining that. But let's talk about some super chats, of course. Yo, what up, Kind of Funny best friends? Welcome back for another week of awesome content here in the spare bedroom with Kind of Funny. Of course, we have so much fun stuff coming your way, but of course, it wouldn't be a Kind of Funny Games daily post show without myself or Andy coming in and reading your burning questions. Don't forget, if you're live on Twitch or on YouTube, you can get involved through super chats and through the new hype chat feature where you can write in with your questions about today's news stories. You can ask about Tim and his dope fit. You
Ask
can ask
about
about,
it.
oh man,
Any
they're
questions
moving
you
the
have?
set. What?
How you doing?
I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
I'm feeling really good. It's weird standing up and having this much room for activities.
Yeah, a lot of room. A lot
You
of
know?
room. Can you do a
Start
high
doing
kick?
jumping jacks.
No, I can't
Tim.
do a high kick. I'm
Because we're
not
playing
flexible.
WrestleQuest. We got to
Yeah.
talk about your wrestling persona.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
No,
It's like today's the day.
I'm more of a walk around and point at things type of guy.
like that. I like
hope
that.
you get some cheers. Hope you get some chants.
I
And then
like that.
otherwise, just like I'll take the hits. You know what
You're
I mean?
kind of like Seth freaking Rollins, who just comes out real swaggy, but also, like just doing. He's just orchestrating it.
Yeah,
You know what
see,
I mean?
up to that
I like
point.
that.
Everything after that, I'm not like Seth Rollins at all. He is so damn talented, man. You watch SummerSlam at all?
Come on, me and Kevin Astex, we watching SummerSlam.
Dude.
Did you watch SummerSlam?
Oh, it was a blast. I had such a good time, man.
Hey, can we talk about it?
Of course we
Every
can.
single time we preface this story of like, hey, he's a jabroni and he's an idiot, but goddamn, we got to talk about Ricochet and Logan Paul.
What a match.
Absolutely setting the tone for SummerSlam. What a freaking match.
Dude, I saw a tweet that really puts it all into context for me about Logan Paul in the
Yeah.
WWE. He is like if you took a creative character and then just put all the stats up and you're just like, you go from zero to fucking hero out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
How the fuck could he do all this stuff, Mike?
It was some really solid wrestling out of those two. Really fun match. I think it ended brilliantly where people are going to get riled up, right? Like, Come on. What a great ending to that.
Honestly, I thought that the entire SummerSlam was like such a good time. Didn't love every outcome of every match, but that's WWE though. You know what I mean? You're here for the highs and lows and for the storylines. The Bloodline stuff, oh man. Like it was great. Overall, great match. I'm really like, how are they going to keep this going? Because we're getting to some jump the shark bits here where I'm like, I don't know about this Jimmy J situation.
You know what? We're having fun with it, which is terrific stuff. And SummerSlam was a hit. Ford Field looked awesome, right?
Yes, it did.
Greg over on youtube.com/WWE did an incredible bit that you got to watch. That was a really fun time with Mommy and, of course, Dirty Dom. God, it was so good.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll talk about that on the podcast as well.
So much to talk about.
Real quick, Mike, I just want to say how funny it was where I wasn't on Twitter at all. Watching the show last night. I was me and my brother were just watching it at my house, and the main event's happening. I'm super in watching. All of a sudden, I start hearing Greg Miller's voice behind me, and I'm like, what's going on? And it really was like an out-of-body experience because, like, I didn't realize where he was.
Front row.
He was, like, tweeting about it saying, like, oh, you're going to hear me, whatever. I didn't know that. So I just started hearing Greg, and it freaked me out for a minute because I thought Greg was, like, calling in or something.
Yes. I cannot wait for the podcast because I want to ask Greg about that, right? Like, as you know, I got the all-access badge. And
of course.
No rules, right? And we learned that there aren't many rules. There's some rules there, but I want to know how Greg got positioned there, right?
Yeah.
Because after seeing it live and in person, I definitely understand what goes down in the front couple of rows there, right? And it's not what you would think. It's not just walk up there and you're there, right? Like, it is very sectioned off. People are coming and going. They have special faces that are supposed to be there. How did he get there? I want to know all about it. But that will be for the Kind of Funny podcast. This is Kind of Funny Games Daily's post show. And man, oh man, we got stuff to talk about, Tim. Just like my guy Tyler Washington, who's become a YouTube member for 3 full months, says, hey, yo, 3 months of the good people. Hey, thank you for being good to us and being a part of it. Slap nuts! Slap nuts.
What do you want? What do you want to eat?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you talk.
Hey, everybody, it's Greg, and I'm getting the orders from everybody here who wants to eat some food with us. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing really
good.
What
do you think of SummerSlam?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved it, man.
Yeah.
I think, like, after last year's we were there together,
that
was the most impressed I've ever been with the SummerSlam. I don't think this one quite hit those highs.
Sure.
But, oh, my God. Literally obsessed with it.
Good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anything
Didn't love
else?
everything.
Sure,
but
of course not.
That's how things
wrestling.
go.
That's how it is. Yeah,
Did you enjoy your time?
I had a great time.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell some backstage stories. I think,
I'm sure.
On the old Kind of Funny podcast this afternoon, patreon.com/kindoffunny.
That's where you want to
Tim
be.
tried to keep me off it because he's afraid of me. Do you want some food too? You founded the company. I guess you guys.
Yeah, let me see.
Thanks, Slap Nuts. Let's go back to this one right there. Dropkick Tondo writes in with a $5 super chat and says, birthday text, nothing more, nothing less. Have a great day, everyone. Happy birthday, Dropkick Tondo. Thank you so much for your support. I guess we can kind of get over here now instead of just standing
love
in
to
the
Dropkick
darkness.
Tondo. You know?
Yes.
I want to say a very positive member of the community. Always a big fan seeing their name pop up.
A lot of great people out there. Now, Jarrett F. writes in and says, do you think Rockstar would ever create an Elder Scrolls-like open-world fantasy RPG? What would that look like? How could we let Rockstar know we want this?
No.
I'm going to say I don't want that. I like Rockstar with what they're doing right now.
Absolutely.
But what would it look like? I mean, I would assume it's just... See, here's my issue. Because I like Rockstar for the satire, I like it for the jokes, right? And you know what I think of when I go to fantasy? Borderlands. So essentially, to me, my mind jumps to, it would just be Borderlands. And I don't know if I want that. You know what I mean? I don't like that humor in that kind of setting with them.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. No. I feel like Rockstar, keep doing what you're doing. I feel like they're already between the western side of the Red Dead Redemption and then the more modern side of the. I don't even know what the right word would be because modern technically isn't it if they can go back to the 80s and 90s.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that vibe, the more city vibe, I guess, vibe of games, like it's fairly unique in this day and age, you know? Like, there were times where there were GTA clones up the wazoo. But nowadays, it's like, you're getting maybe a couple every 5 years or so.
Yeah.
You know, we're not getting a Saints Row every year. We're not getting true crime streets of
XYZ. New York and L.A.
You know what I mean?
On. Sleeping Dogs. Man, we had some great ones out there. But yeah, Jared, great write-in. Great question. I wonder what the chat says because I see Jared over there saying, breaking my heart. Yeah, I don't want a fantasy from Rockstar. I don't want fantasy. It's just my issue there. And then when I think of it, my mind does go to the corny jokes of Borderlands with their high fantasy, and it just doesn't work for me on that one. So I don't know. But Jared, good question.
Borderlands is high. I don't know if I call it high fantasy, but they did the tiny Tina. Little Tina.
And it's just like, I don't like that one. Let's go in with Jace the Drone. Will Tim play AC6? I feel like it could be a surprise love for you like Sifu was. AC6, Armored Core 6.
Proud of you, Mike. You're working on it.
I'm making sure you got it, just so you know.
I am. I'm really excited to give it a shot. I highly doubt it sticks with me, even if it's just because of time. But very excited to get in and try because I think it looks absolutely great. And I'm a big mech fan, so I want to see. I want to see how
the
this
mech
goes.
customization on this game too. Come on, man! I'm gonna make a dope Gundam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched Iron-Blooded Orphans, and there was this dope Gundam that was green and purple, and he was running around with a giant mace, and I was like, "Yo,
that's my guy.
That's my guy right there." He was a bad guy though. Okay. Ghost 209 writes in and says, "Because of Greg, my gamer tag is now Game Over Ghosty."
Game Over Ghosty.
There we go. I like that.
Welcome to the GOG Club.
My dog Nick 96 writes in and says, "Blessing, did you hear the track that introduced the top 6 to Street Fighter 6? Well, I'll tell you, Blessing's not here, but I did because man, oh man, Evo top 6 Street Fighter 6 was absolutely rocking. Then they shredded the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme, and it was like." Shit was wild, Tim. It was wild, bro. Let me tell you.
Shout out to Evil, man. One day I want to be there. I want to see it in all its actual glory.
Yes, 100%.
It's been hard because for many years it would be the same weekend as RTX, and we would always go to RTX. With the future of that, like I'm not sure, like if we're going next year or whatever. Next year's Evo, man, it sounds like a freaking blast. The amount of games we got coming, Mortal Kombat, potentially Project L, Tekken 8.
Kombat, yeah. And a little Killer Instinct out there, too. Did y'all talk about the Killer Instinct news?
You know, we did.
Iron Galaxy whipping it up.
Really? 10-year
Yeah,
anniversary.
they're bringing a big update right there. It's like pretty exciting stuff. I know the KI audience is jazzed up about that. And what could that lead to? Daddy Microsoft, maybe we give them a call. Maybe we help them out. Rumbleverse, done now, right? Hey, maybe there's some free agents out there we could hit up and see. Let's run this, you know?
Run it back.
Let's keep it moving right now with Ghost 209 says, R.I.P. Will Friedkin. Greg sucks. I don't know a Will. I apologize.
Gosh, Jesus, everything about this. We get an RIP message. Someone
right
we
now.
don't know who it is.
Right now.
And then I want to take it as serious. You know, I want to think that they're actually being heartfelt there, but then ended it with the Greg sucks. Yeah, so I don't know about this. The director of The Exorcist. That's who you decided to message us.
I don't know who that is.
RIP to the director of The Exorcist, Greg sucks.
Yes, Kevin. There's a controller on the desk that says for you.
Just one?
All right.
Yep. Bander SN writes in, says, Tim, did you know that Final Fantasy has its own TCG, trading card game?
Trading card games, so good at this, Mike. Yes, I did know that. It's hard because I'm more of a collector than I am in actually trying to play these things.
Yeah.
And I feel like there has to be a certain level of excitement around it for me to be interested in collecting it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, I like that.
The only thing that is that no one in the world's interested in besides me is the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993. It wasn't a trading. It was just a collectible.
Okay.
There was no actual game to it. I forget the phrase for that. TCG, CCG, collectible card game. That's what it is.
CCG.
But there's no game. I don't fucking know. Anyways, I had every single one when I was little because there was a dollar store, and I went to the dollar store, and I was buying each of the packs. They were selling them for $1. Eventually, they're like, "We'll just give you the whole box for $1 because no one's going to buy these things."
I love that.
Yeah.
I love when that happens.
So
yes.
I don't have them anymore, but one day I want to recollect them.
Colin Berry writes in with their 4-month membership anniversary over on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. Bless what you have a KBBQ. Also,
What'd you have at KBBQ? What do you think?
You have? There's a lot,
what do you think that is, Mike?
That's Korean barbecue.
Mike is
I've been
on
around
it
the
today,
block,
everybody.
ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday, and I'm wearing my glasses so I can see you, chat.
So proud of you.
Bless,
And
what'd
the
you
good
get
glasses.
at-
You see these things?
What'd you get at Korean barbecue? Also, was the grill at your table? P.S. The Hunter x Hunter shirt is looking good on you. Well, shout out to Bless for looking good today.
Bless was looking fucking
Let's
good.
talk
Did you
Korean
see that
barbecue.
shirt on him?
Yeah, it looks great. I like the military green on him.
Dude,
I like
dope.
that he's showing off a little bit of the pecs.
A little bit of them peckies.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bless, go to the gym with Roger at 6:30 in the morning. Work on those pecs. Keep them going. Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
What's your order? What's the deal?
Oh, the only way to do Korean barbecue is to just go with the group. You know what I mean?
Okay,
you go with the group and you don't have an order. You let life fucking take you by control.
Wow.
You just start pointing at things. You get a little bit of everything. You share it with everyone. I'm usually not a big share guy.
Okay.
But with that KBBQ, you got to share.
The-
You got
Gots
to do
to
it.
share.
The mandatory thing though, Calbee. You gotta get an order of Calbee. Depending on the place,
Everybody loves
a
cow
good
tongue.
order of grilled chicken as well. Depending on the place. Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's go hard. But yeah, you're right though. Calbee is that one like, why
If we're going to a Korean barbecue place and we don't order that, we're fucking up.
we're fucking up.
Love that. Me and Andy last night, spices together.
Oh,
Two
of course.
bros.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bros,
Who
add
could have
spices.
thought?
Now, I'll tell you what, my favorite lady, not there. She only works Wednesday, Thursday, so we'll have to go there.
I gotta go on a Wednesday or Thursday with
because that's
you.
my lady, is right.
Yeah.
Oscar writes in and says, "Where did Mike get that dope Pokeball-like hoodie?" Frame Rate merch. Shout out to Tina and Ray, our good friends. Of course, this is a Frame Rate merch one right there. They have 3 different kinds, resembling 3 different Pokeballs.
Love that.
So if you like that, that's up to your alley.
Tasteful.
Man, they got some dope stuff. They're
Yeah.
incredible, those two.
Big fan of them.
Mike writes in and says, "Would no OLED or BC make Switch 2 a no-go at launch? BC, backwards compatibility.
And what was the other thing?
OLED screen."
Look,
Look,
make it a no-go.
let me
No.
talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm just getting ahead of it myself. I don't expect it to have OLED at launch, which is such a bummer
Get out
to
of
me.
town.
I know. It just is what it is. Look, the Vita came out with OLED, and the next one didn't have OLED.
Okay.
The Switch has an upgrade of an OLED. I don't expect the next one to have
Yeah.
it. I just don't. And that is such an absolute bummer to me because it makes the Switch so much better.
Yeah.
Just so much better. And then the no backwards compatibility, I think there is not a chance. I saw Paris tweeting that he's emotionally preparing himself for it not to have it because WNDs, weird Nintendo
Gotta be
decisions.
ready.
I legitimately think that there's not a chance that the next Switch is not backwards compatible. Like they have just built something that is too important. That there's too much going on with this library, with the install base of the Switch.
Feels good.
I think not only is it going to be backwards compatible, I think it's going to be connected. I think that we're actually going to get. Like I would not be surprised if the next Switch isn't even a next Switch.
It's a Switch Plus,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Still uses the cartridges. Mm-hmm. Joy-Cons too?
I mean,
Now you start to think, right? What are we sharing on this? Are we sharing the dock? Are we?
no, not sharing the
Joy-Cons?
dock. No, it'd be a new
Well,
dock.
I mean, what if I have the old version and I have a new dock?
No, I see.
What if I have a
There,
new
there
version,
has
I
to
put
be
it on
some
the old
limits.
dock?
There has to be some things tech-wise that are
I'm
that
just
are pushing
throwing it
it
out there.
forward.
You know what I mean? What are we sharing?
Yeah, but we'll see.
Okay, I like that. I'm excited for that one. Ian writes in and says, "Snowbikel Michael, for someone who hasn't played either game but enjoys RPGs, gun to your head, which game do you recommend? Diablo 4 or Baldur's Gate 3? Tough, because Baldur's Gate 3, game of the year conversation now. Better be, because that game is awesome. Diablo 4, incredible. Let's talk about it, Tim, because
about
there's
it.
2 different stories to this game right now. One and the other. One, do you like gameplay? Do you want to just get
Do you like
lost
gameplay?
in the mindless gameplay that is Diablo, right? Because Diablo has a lot of gameplay at the front of it. Baldur's Gate, a lot more story and narrative, right? So now you got to make a choice here, because I'll tell you what, Diablo, I love playing because I'm actively playing it. Baldur's Gate, I am very much just watching a story unfold, getting to pick and choose what's happening. The Battlefield stuff, don't get me wrong, fun gameplay, but not as much gameplay as Diablo, right? Like real time is happening there as opposed to turn-based and choosing that.
Weighty.
So if I had my choice, I would look at you and say, what are you in the mood for? Do you want to be involved? Do you want to stay constantly on your toes? Then go for Diablo 4. If you're interested in an awesome story, really getting on the grid and working out some cool tactics-based combat, you should go with Baldur's Gate. Right now, I'm loving Baldur's Gate. I'm absolutely in love with that game. It is a must play.
You shot your shot on this one, man.
That should be on my fantasy critic, Tim. There's no question about that. I knew that team was going to deliver, and they did. So yeah,
but it was
I would
in pre-release, Mike. You know, it wouldn't have been fair.
Access.
You know,
they didn't want me to have it. They held me back from greatness, but it's all right. So yeah, I would say I think Baldur's Gate, for me personally, right now is where I want to be. I want to live in that. I love the 4-player co-op. I think you can make some really dope, fun, interesting things with that. Me and Andy replayed all the stuff that we already played throughout the week because he did not like where one Nick Scarpino might have taken the story. So, that's how much fun I'm having as I've restarted it again.
Hell yeah. Dude.
Y'all are cowards. Y'all just need to lean into
We killed a bird.
Story.
We killed a lot of things.
Y'all killed everybody, and it would have been great because you know what? Everybody else also too cowardly to do it, and you were the ones who were the only ones who were doing it. Like,
good friend of ours, JPL, writes in and says, "Hey Mike, how are those hammies on them yammies?" Tim, as you know, I pulled a hamstring 2 weeks ago. I proceeded to run on it throughout the week because I'm not afraid of that. And I feel good. I feel like I'm back. I'm wearing jeans because it's a very special occasion.
Yeah,
I think everybody in the studio will tell you I haven't worn jeans since the studio launch month when I said I would wear jeans every day, and then I wore shorts, and I said, no, I'm going to wear shorts every day.
I get it.
It's a dance.
Can we just appreciate it for a second, though? Like, Mike, this is a
Brand
fit from
kicks.
head to toe. I know those brand new kicks. Like, I'm loving the color. The thing about Tim Geddes that you guys have probably noticed over time.
You probably know.
I'm never going to say I'm the best dressed. I'm never going to say, like, I am the most fashionable or anything.
Yeah.
I will say I'm the most coordinated. You know what I mean? I feel like that is the goal that I have at all times when it comes to the clothes. You got a coordination going on, though, that I'm envious of. This is looking good.
This isn't me. This is just Ray and Tina with the sweatshirt. The sweatshirt brings it all.
But with the shoes, though, you got the distribution of colors with the white, the black, and everything.
Gotta have the nice shoes on is right, Tim.
It's good.
And I'll tell you what. Wore my normal, running Nike shoes to the World Dog Surfing Championships.
Yes,
and I'll tell you, when I was on the beach, I was taking in water.
Save it for the podcast. Save it
It
for the
was so
podcast, Mike.
much fun. It was so much fun. Now, here's what I do need. I got the nervous peas, we'll call it.
Okay.
I got to go pee really quick. But before we start the show, I need you to buy me 2 more minutes.
Okay.
So I can go pee.
I can do that.
And then we'll bring everybody else out, okay?
Yeah.
But you can tell them what we're doing today. Do you want to tell them what we're doing?
Oh, we're about to play some WrestleQuest with Jeff Jarrett. Are you kidding me? This is about to be an absolute blast. I think we got a couple more super chats coming in here. We have DJ Kanto super chat saying, I think much like the upgraded Wii remotes, we'll have new Joy-Cons, but they'll look the same, but maybe have half thumbsticks and other upgrade. Hall thumbsticks and other upgrades. I'm hoping there's far less bezel on the screen. DJ Kento, have you used or do you have the OLED Switch? Because I can't imagine the bezel getting any better than that. Like, comparing the OLED to the original is night and day. The original is a joke, Fisher-Price toy compared to the OLED. And it surprises me because I always didn't like how much bezel there was, but looking at it now, it looks more like the original Switch looks more like a Wii U than it does a Switch OLED. It blows my mind there. And I'm just talking about the physical hardware of it all. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I just don't see them wanting to get rid of their worthy investments in things that worked, like Joy-Cons, that aren't Wii remotes in the sense that traditional games don't work right with them. Like, they're just controllers. So I feel like the success that they have in selling these things and being able to come out with a bazillion customizable colors and all that stuff, like, I don't know, man. I think the next Switch is going to be a lot more in line, a lot more Game Boy to Game Boy Color than we're kind of expecting here. I mean, but even then, a Game Boy Color to a Game Boy Advance, I don't think is that big of a jump there with the GBA being fully backwards compatible, even though the cartridges were different sizes. People are saying there's rumors that the cartridge is going to be different for the Switch, and therefore it's not backwards compatible. Look at the past to understand the future. But I understand I'm crazy saying that because it's Nintendo and WNDs are abound. What say you, Barrett?
I could see it where they have like 2 different entry ports or whatever, like one for the older games and then one for whatever new type of cartridges they have. I could also see them just keeping the same cartridge type. Like, I don't know if there's anything that's holding them back. Like, if anything, we've learned that, what is it? It's like really good for storage, and especially with like the size of their games and shit. So I don't know, yeah, I could see it either way. I think it would be absolutely insane if it was not backwards compatible.
Right. And like, not only so backwards
like
compatible,
a big, I think it would be a bigger blunder, Tim, than the Wii U itself.
I don't know about that. But I mean,
dude, at least the Wii U, was totally kind of backwards compatible, or not kind of. Like, you could play Wii games and like all that. Like, at least, I don't know.
So, but here's the thing, though.
It was a weird backwards compatibility, but it had it.
I feel like the backwards compatibility is an interesting conversation to have with Switch because it can mean multiple things. I think that there's no way that just period, it's not backwards compatible. But there's a chance that there's no physical backwards compatibility, but the digital works. There's no way the digital Nintendo ecosystem will not be playable on the next Switch. No way.
I feel like I'm interrupting a TED Talk. It's like the 100 Club or 700 Club or a TED Talk. I'll tell you about Nintendo.
I am about to leave here. Actually, we get one more here from Al Treisman. Tim, do you think we will be getting a new Steam Deck by the end of the year? That's a really good question. I feel like it's yet to be known if Steam's going to like pump these things out annually with just like small little revisions, or they're going to kind of treat them more like generational big moments. I would probably lean towards that. I don't think every year would make sense. I think maybe like every other year put out an update. But whatever they do, I hope we get some OLED. What do you think, Greg?
I'm Mike. I don't need it.
Oh shit!
Don't worry about it. I'm here for it. I don't think you get any
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
This year's running out of time.
We're running out of time pretty quick here on this year. Yeah, and Steam Deck's doing fine on its own.
Yeah.
It was funny. I coming home from SummerSlam, got on the plane, right to bed, right? Because it's I got no sleep. I stirred awake and 2.5 hours into the flight or whatever. It was a I'm in the window, mom on the aisle, kid in the center playing Zelda, Switch. And so then I eventually bust out my Switch.
Hell yeah.
Played something unreleased, unannounced. Can't tell you about.
Unannounced.
Well, it's been announced, I guess. Unreleased.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to look cool, and then like I put it down, but I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to talk to him. I'm done talking. It's been a long SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the flight, I overheard him when we were like waiting to board. His mom's like, "So what did you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I played this and I did this and I watched some Netflix." And he's like, "Mom, also they've announced that there's gonna be a new Switch next year. So I really think that my Switch will probably be obsolete." And she's like, "Well, if I buy you one, I gotta get Billy one too, and that's a lot of money."
There we go, man.
She's like, "Maybe we could do it," but like this kid knew, man. He was dialed in. Did he know me? No. And that's why when he dropped his wallet, I just took it. You know what I mean?
Good.
I'm not
Still
giving.
have it. Yeah.
You still do?
Yeah.
Kid had his chance.
Then we have DJ Kid was saying nice shirt, Greg, which I do agree. Loved your jacket. Your day 2, love both jackets, but day 2 jacket, especially good.
Yeah, I was happy with that one a lot. And it helped me out. It turned out, spotting me in the crowd. So many people are like a true north. We'll talk about it on the show.
I know.
But no, you're all here, ladies and gentlemen. It's starting. I've threatened it many times on Games Daily. This is the start of the collared shirt era.
Oh.
I had come home. I told Jen I'm sick of looking like a schlub. I'm going to buy some collared shirts.
Great.
She says, "You never will." I'll order a bunch. She ordered a bunch.
And here we
so
are.
there's a whole bunch that I'm like, I would never normally, not this one, but there's other ones I'm like, I wouldn't wear this, but if my wife says I'd look good in it, I probably look good in it.
I love it. Yeah. I'm very excited for this.
You
Step
should
it
be.
up, everybody.
You should be. You should
got
be.
Mike over here looking
here.
like a damn snack.
I'm wearing my jeans for a reason. Now, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Tim, go forth. You've done a great job. Go
I'm
forth.
going to put this mic back where it belongs.
Yes, you are.
All right.
Yes, you are.
Should we say goodbye to the Games Daily kids who are still listening on audio podcast services around the world?
Goodbye, Games Daily kids. Have a good one. From Barrett and myself to you, be kind, be well, go forth.
Wait, why from Barrett and you? Why not me?
I didn't even think you were there. You were so silent. That's why I didn't see you. You know what I mean?
You're a real piece of trash.
Sit on down. Let's have some fun. This is going to be a good time.
Yeah, it is.
So when they come out, I'm going to switch over onto that side to see you.
Sure, and I want to bring out James first, and then we'll bring out Jeff.
Okay.
Because